At this point, you have probably heard a decent amount of analysis on the addition of Bryce Huff. The San Francisco 49ers traded a conditional fifth round draft pick that could be a fourth, depending on play time incentives. And this is what I think you really need to know about Bryce Huff. We have all made our cases of why we like, or some have maybe made the case of why they don't like this move. One of the things that I continuously hear about this move is the contrast between what Bryce Huff did with Robert Saleh with the New York Jets and what he did with the Philadelphia Eagles after signing a 3-year, $51 million contract, which was put up 2.5 sacks after putting up 10 sacks the year prior and being inactive in the Super Bowl. So take a listen to his former teammate, someone who understands the player, understands the system, and understands the environment in which Bryce Huff is coming from. And I think it will help you rationalize how this is a really good move for the San Francisco 49ers and why it makes sense. Take a listen to what he had to say right here.
With the Jets, it was just that defense, man. I know what it's like playing in that 4-3 wide nine, go get it. Every play, it's always stop the run on the way to the quarterback. That's the slogan in that type of defense. So that's what it's all. I feel like it's all scheme. I mean, I've seen different guys flourish in different systems, and then you see them get in another system. It's different. And what they asked of them this year, it just wasn't a great marriage, I would say, because I know Huff can rush. I see him doing all that, but sometimes it's just different with the type of scheme and what people ask of you and they want you to be able to do. And maybe it just wasn't that for Vic Fangio or I mean you don't really know. I mean I just know that he a baller, man, and he hopefully for him I want it to be a win-win for the team and win for him. But in this case, I want him to be happy, go out if it's here or somebody somewhere else, for him to be able to go show what he can these prime years for.
Shout out to the Ross Tucker podcast for getting that clip. And I made this point right away when the news was announced, when I started to see the pushback from Eagles fans and some 49er fans saying that this guy didn't produce last year. 49ers are getting taken advantage of. Why would the Eagles do this? It's really simple. You look at the two schemes that are being run, and you hear from Brandon Graham on it as well. Vic Fangio and Robert Saleh couldn't run more dramatically different schemes. Fangio runs a 3-4, whereas Robert Saleh runs the 4-3 with the wide nine defensive front. So, again, if you're unfamiliar with the differences, the defensive ends in a 3-4 actually play on the interior. You have a nose guard, two interior defensive tackles that are defensive ends that kind of play in the 3 tech, 3 to 5, and that's basically head up to inside for the most part on the tackle to the guard. And then you have stand up outside linebackers who do two things. They drop into coverage a lot, but they also rush the passer and they set the edge. So when you look at Bryce Huff, he isn't an edge setter. He's a smaller kind of pass rusher, compact, speed, leverage, rip, all those kinds of things. He's not a big bodied guy. So I imagine when Vic Fangio or Howie Roseman signed Bryce Huff, they had the idea that he would be a stand-up outside linebacker. But when you look at the success that he has had as a pass rusher, he has had it with his hand in the dirt, not just one hand, two hands. He loves a 4-point stance. And outside linebackers typically don't have their hand in the dirt. They are stand up guys. And it's just a dramatically different scheme. And he didn't fit. And obviously, when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they're stacked with talent as well. And so, my observation of it all is I really just think that it wasn't a fit. And the best part about this is we don't have to question the fit. we know how the fit is. And I think that's why it's easy to be optimistic about this addition, because we have seen what Huff has done with Robert Saleh in the wide nine, and it's going to be able to translate. And the 49ers have a massive need for the hole that he will fill, which is a situational pass rusher. Again, just the day before that the 49ers made this move, I was talking about the need for the player that Bryce Huff represents, a situational pass rusher. Yes, Mykel Williams, the number 11th overall pick, is going to be very powerful. He's going to be a great edge setter. I look at him as a developmental pass rusher, especially from the defensive end position. I look at Mykel and think he is better suited right away rushing over the guard. That he can do right now. It's not going to take him time to develop, whereas being an outside rusher, I do think he needs to develop into that. So ideally, you have Mykel Williams as a base down player, first and second down. Then he kicks inside. I call this the dog roll, the Charles Omenihu Arden Key roll. You kick him inside, he rushes over the guard. You use that length, you use that power to collapse the pocket from the inside. Then you got guys like Bosa and Huff on the outside who have the speed and ability to push the quarterback up into the pocket where Mykel Williams, Alfred Collins, CJ West, Kevin Givens, Evan Anderson, those guys are right there to get the quarterback. So you collapse the pocket not only from the outside but from the interior. And that's where I see the fit. And even when you look at Bryce Huff's success in 2023, the last season he had with Robert Saleh, he led the league in pressure rate over guys like Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa, all those guys. And he did not play a ton on first or second down. He only, I would say, played 30% or so of early down snaps for the New York Jets that season. However, he played over 80% of their third down snaps, and you see the result. He was only on the field, but you know, the majority of the time he was on the field, it was in pass rushing situations. So that's the way that I see it playing out. That's it was a huge need in my opinion. It was a glaring need, honestly. And they don't necessarily fill it with a rookie. They filled it with a veteran who's had 10 sacks the last time he played with Robert Saleh. So again, I see this as a good move. The 49ers didn't give up a bunch, really not much of anything, because you also have to think about they are going to get 4 compensatory picks for the free agents who left this offseason. So they could get a couple thirds, a couple fourths, maybe even a fifth. So I don't think that we're looking at this move as like, oh no, the 49ers, they're just throwing away draft capital. No, they know they got picks coming in for the guys who have left. So they do have the ability to spend some of that capital and go get someone who can help right now. And the fact that they're going to be paying him less than $8 million this year is, to me, a great deal. So for all the people who might be questioning this move, might be doubting it, especially the Eagles fans, they love that they sent Huff to us. And I honestly think that they're going to be regretting that. And I think they're going to be eating their words. And I'm going to be here to be watching it all and laughing along the way, because I do look at Bryce Huff as a potential double digit sack performer with the San Francisco 49ers next season. So that's the way that I look at it, man. I think that it's a good move. I think it's a cost effective move. It's effectively a good move from every potential perspective. Roster construction, filling a need on the defensive line, um, how much you're paying this guy, the cap hit, all of it. It's a great move all the way around, and very low risk move, with the ability to have a high reward. So I'm curious, does hearing Brandon Graham amidst all the other opinions that are out there, Does that kind of give you a better kind of understanding of what Bryce Huff could do in this defense with Chris Kosuric and Robert Saleh? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more.